So this is my dad's 1972 MG Midget, and he bought this about 12 years ago when my sister and I were very, very young. And he would always take us around in this car. My sister and I would alternate between weekends, and he would take us to all these fun places. And there was never a time where he would drive this car without one of us in it with him. And my dad, he's getting to the point where this car, it's developing some issues, and it's a little bit of a chance driving this car around every weekend still. This car has multiple leaks. It has an oil leak, a coolant leak, transmission leak. Transmission itself is very whiny, and it always grinds, and it's definitely failing. We were told that it's gonna fail us one of these days, and it's got a little bit of rust issues, but nothing that major. So next year, at the end of next year, my sister's gonna be heading off to college. My dad's been saying, I've heard my dad talking about maybe trying to sell this car while he can and while it still works, to get a little bit of money for my sister's college. And my dad, he probably would have fixed it up if he hadn't spent all his time working, so my mom didn't have to, and she could raise my sister and I. And he was also trying to work very hard to pay for guitar lessons and drum lessons and dance classes, to actually ensure that my sister and I had proper childhoods, had good childhoods. And as of right now, my dad is actually spending a lot of his money on something else. So this is a 1990 Volvo 240 wagon, and this is the car I told my dad that I wanted to drive. And he's been putting all the money he could be putting into that MG towards this for me, because he knows that I want to drive it. And so really, the whole reason we're nominating my dad for this show is because he's been pouring all his time and money into us and almost nothing for himself. So that's why we want to get you guys to help us out and give him a better MG Midget.